Yeah, welcome to the channel. This is Anas, and today I am going to be doing my reading log for the month of September. What I've been reading lately, and what I'm reading at the moment, or what my focus is afterwards, at the end, towards the end. So let's just get in and kind of talk about some of the series that I read this month, or I've been reading. So this was one of the series that I read, Ikigami, The Ultimate Limit, Volume 1. I only have Volume 2, but this one, the premise was super cool, and I kind of like the idea behind it, and it's just neat. It kind of is close to home, but at the same time, wow, talk about it. And I really want to read this one, this seinen. I'm super happy, so I gotta collect more. But I just this right here, this volume by itself satisfied me, because there was, I think, 2 characters or 3 characters in here, and it's more multiple characters. And the setup is, if I give a little bit of a premise, that in this society there are pills given to everybody, like at some point, and later on, uh, these ikigami, what they do is they deliver a package to one of the individuals, and then they let them know that they only have 24 hours left to live, and however they want to spend that is up to them. But that's kind of the point. So it's kind of like, well, once you get this letter delivered, you know you're going to die for 20, certainly for 24 hours, for certain, no questions asked. And is, how do you live your life, and how does the society that is imposing this utopia, like, how do they justify killing somebody? So it kind of explores those things, and at different angles, different characters. One, in the beginning, there was a bullied character who decided to take revenge, and then there was another character. So it depends on how the character wants to live their last hours once they are delivered the ikigami letter. And what about these individuals that have to actually deliver the letter? You know what I mean? These office workers, and kind of like how it puts them into that. So kind of a mini little review there, but that's kind of it. And I really like this one. I really liked it. Also, this month I read volume 6 of the 20th Century Boys. I'm currently reading this slowly, and this was a kicker. Slapped me in the face. It made the suspense, because I kind of got bored a little bit in the beginning, but towards the end of this, it brought it full circle around. So I kind of know what's going on at the moment. Like, I'm thinking, I don't know where or else I was gonna take from here, but yeah, I'm glad. So I read volume 6, and also this month I kind of read from, I restarted from volume 1 through about 7 for the Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt. Now the first 3 volumes kind of have a, like, they're one arc, one kind of like the introductory. They're in the Thunderbolt sector. Both sides are just fighting, and there's so many casualties on both sides. It's traumatizing. Okay, by the end of the 3rd volume, there's enough trauma to go around for everybody. Okay, and I just kind of like how this is brutal. It's very brutal, very gore, and I kind of like the art is super cool. The storytelling, there's a lot of political intrigue, and they're fighting in space, just blood, okay, machines, destruction, everything. So this arc is neat and precise, and by the end you're like, just it's beautiful. And I just love the way that it concluded, like, just wraps it up perfect. Here, have fun. So the first 3 volumes kind of contain that initial, I got you, that 1-2 punch, and you're good to go. And then after that, there's a little bit of exploration. The characters from both sides are like in different places, and they're dealing with different issues. And I like this volume here. It's my favorite as far as it. And by the time you get around to like 6 and 7, yeah, the story takes pretty much unexpected turns, and I kind of liked 7. 7 was my favorite at the moment. I don't know, because the development and the stakes and the new enemy that's revealed and what happens between some of the characters. I don't want to name names, but by this point, man, look at that, look at that. And I like this group. Actually, this group, the monks. Oh man, I like them. Even though I think they're the antagonist, I think they're the enemy in this. The Federation. So there's the Federation, the Zeons, and then there's a new group by Volume 7. You'll find out. But man, the story, the paneling, the dude, the art also in here, superb, superb. I'm just raving about it. So I read 1 through 7 for that. I reread Magas of the Library because I wanted to catch up. So I read the first 3 volumes. Volume 4 I left on. I just put it on hold for the second. But this is super. Oh man, I really liked it on my second read now, and I'm super happy about this. This text is one of those mangas that you really should take your time reading. Enjoy the scenery, stay, linger on every panel. That's kind of my 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 philosophy when it comes to this, and for good reason. It's very adventure. The boy Theo, he loves books, and he's in a. So the premise in the beginning is that he's in this village and he loves books, and because he's from the slums, I think he's kind of discriminated against. Also because he has these ears, long ears. I think he's a hybrid of two different cultures. But at the same time, he wants to read, but the library that the public library, the the manager doesn't allow him, doesn't want him to touch books because he believes that this filth, this scum from the slums is gonna mess up the books. So lo and behold, he gets an opportunity later on to actually read the books, but saved also the through some different events. I don't want to spoil it, but he gets the opportunity to become a kafna. So this is based on I think a novel, Kafna of the Wind, and he wants to become these mythical, these librarians or these people that actually go around, and he wants to become a kafna where he wants to collect different books and bring them to the biggest library. And it's just the adventure of him getting ready to become that, taking the examination, the relationship that he has, the people that he meets. And volume 3 was thick. Oh my god. Let me see. Yeah, I love the final panels. The final 3 preview panels are to die for in this one. And I like the second volume too, and some of the explorations that had happened in that. But all in all, it was a good read. Very adventure. I kind of like what goes into it. So more word heavy, but the art also compensates for it. So it has a mix of both good art, good story. It's overwhelming. I love it. The final manga is, this one is not my manga, but I borrowed it from my niece. She's been raving about this. She was like, try this, because I was like, man, welcome to the ballroom. But that was my attitude. So she was trying to prove me wrong, and which she was like, yeah. Now I'm on volume 3, so I read 1 and 2, and man, kind of begins off typical shonen sports type. The character doesn't have, the main character doesn't have anything in his life. There's nothing he cares about, but then he stumbles on. This feels like a lot alike. I could when I was reading this, I found a lot of similarities, a lot of parallel with Hajime no Ippo. Yeah, Hajime no Ippo, very similar to that. I mean, the characters are not like point for point, but the trajectory or the way they go about or where they end up, from where they started to where they end up, and some of the passion, and it feels the same. Hajime no Ippo a little bit. I think it might have been inspired by Hajime no Ippo in a sense, but I could see a little bit of the character, some of the steps, some of the parallelness. So really loved it. This is my niece actually, so she gave it to me. I borrowed it and I read it, enjoyed it, and she proved me wrong. Because I was like, yeah, I was looking down on this manga, but this manga blew me away. That's kind of for it for the manga. So now for the light novels, I've been really focusing on one light novel in particular. So this month I read pretty much these 4 volumes of Ascendance of a Bookworm. I think so it's part 2, volume 2. She's still a shrine maiden in this one, and this is kind of where the season ends. So season 2 ends here of the anime. Is when they meet the and then we're introduced to the noble sector in this volume, the noble society, and also mine in this book has a breakthrough emotionally from her old world. I think the dude, was his name? Forgot his name. The high priest. Yeah, the high priest. Fernandand actually uses a magical. I think it happened in the anime. Yeah. So he uses a magical item to go back into her memories, and then she's able to go back through her memories to her time and kind of grieve or know what she's missing, because the disconnect that she had with her family. So emotionally, there is an emotional development here, and I think she steps forward and fully embraces her new identity past this volume as a mine or whatever. And then this volume here was I'll Do Anything to Become an Apprentice. I think the third volume kind of deals with a little bit more. She's been targeted by the noble society because of her mana, because of the what she showed in the previous volume, and it deals with that and her encounter and how she has to maneuver this society, and the stakes are a little bit high, and it feels a little bit of a plot, what I mean, plot armor in some sense in some places, but I still enjoyed it. I really liked it. And then towards the end, I think, is this the end? Is this the one that ends it, or no? This was not it. No, this is not. This was good. The last one, which now finally she's now definitely has to make her decision. Uh, some decision, something happens in this volume. Something happens, and I think the second one is more of a spoiler. The next one is more of a spoiler as to what happens in this volume, which is the last volume in part two. Except what is it? Apprentice, Shrine Maiden, and yeah, everything goes up. But I really like towards the end too. There's more characters. Their viewpoint POV points for I think how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 10 viewpoints as far as characters. Kind of bonuses towards the end. And well, this is the most recent one that I read. The second to last for what we have as far as print. Now the cool thing about this is, or the funny thing about this one is that uh, the the digital is like up to volume 15 or something like that. This is like volume 8 or 9. So I might go digital once I read that, past that. So that's about it for light novels. For my, I read some more, but these are the only two that I focused on this month for reading. I read these two, kind of continuing my Batman journey, and they're kind of connected. And you know what I mean? It's better to read this one first, then read this one, because you know you already know. You already know. But I really enjoyed it. I could have. I was wanting more at the end of this. I wanted more towards the end of this because it felt a little bit like cut off. Like what happens? So now I want to follow your boy, the Red Hood. I want to follow his storyline, and so I think that's how they get you. You know what I mean? There's tangents. You know, tangents. I wanted to read more Robin too. Tim Drake. But that's pretty much what I've been reading or what I've read. And now the mission is to talk about what I'm gonna read or what I'm reading at the moment. I'm trying to read Seven Deadly Sins because I want to read this quick, fast, because like I said, I'm borrowing this Seven Deadly Sins, and I'm rereading Dorohedoro. I mean, not Dead Man Wonderland because I think I read it a long time ago up to volume 4, but now I want to read it up to what we have out at the moment. I just want to catch up, so I'm starting this in the mood for some Inyo Asano. I'm also almost done with this one. Almost done with volume 3 for Overlord. I've been sleeping on this one too, so I'm kind of catching up back up on this one. So at the same time, I kind of read multiple books at the same time. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Also halfway done with Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. This one though, I'm kind of thinking once I finish it, I don't think I'm going to be like that enthusiastic to continue reading this because I'm more like an action person. I want some action, you know. I want some fighting scenes in my books. So even though it's like a slice of life. Yeah, I did read The Sentence of a Bookworm, but that's like isekai, and they're doing something else. This is kind of like, I don't know, more or less similar to Bakemonogatari in a sense, a little bit similar in that sense with apparitions and all. But it's like, at the end of the day, feels like a harem. That I don't know. I got enough harem in my life. ReZero. I'm also reading this. So volume 2. I read volume 1, enjoyed it. I'm just taking my time to go through this. I enjoyed the anime. That's about it. What I'll be continuing is I'll be continuing this one. Love this one. So volume 7 or 8 is what I'm going to be continuing, and then I'll also be continuing 20th Century Boys. Those are going to be the two I'm going to be focusing on as much as I can. If I can get more Ikigami, yeah. But these ones are what I'm focused on at the moment. I don't know, for some reason I'm on a Mobile Suit Gundam bench. I just feel like reading more of those. So that and also 20th Century Boys is what I'll be focusing on. But I want to knock that out. I don't know. It depends on how I feel when I'm reading something. It just depends. But that's pretty much what I've been reading. What I've been reading. Let me know if you guys want anything to do more, recommendations, what have you, what you've been reading, what you've been enjoying. Yeah. Oh, ReZero. I think I'm gonna like this one. I think I'm gonna read this tonight. Yeah. That's that. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and peace.